Okay, so I ended up just having to start a new live chat because the dude actually was just calling to let me know that there was a package at the door. I said, I know he's in the chat right now. So YouTube has a hard time recovering after a phone call. So, hey Loki, meow, what's up? So yeah, hopefully you guys make your way over and that you see we're live over here. But yeah, so I wanted to share the Pinoy Practical Magic Tarot with you guys. As soon as everybody maybe finds that we are on a different live now, we're over here now. Yes, Sherry Bug, hello again. Oh, Lokester. Such a good panther. So yay, okay, everybody's making their way back. So sorry about that. The dude was just calling, making sure that I got my package. And I said, yeah. And it's just, it has a hard time like jumping back on YouTube after like the phone rings. So sorry about that. So I just made a whole new chat. Yes, and we're back. Tea time with Tara. Okay. So, like I said, I was super excited because Chingay Labrador has made the Pinoy Practical Magic Tarot, and she wasn't able to ship to the United States. She was only able to ship to, I think, a couple of Asian countries. I think she could ship to the UK and Australia. But there was like a bunch of places she couldn't ship, and the United States was one of them. And then finally she got the clearance that she could ship to the US. So I was like, yes. And although the shipping costs more than the deck itself, I was like, you know, like where else am I going to get a Pinoy deck? Because there aren't really any Filipino decks out there, you know. I like to have like some that at least are at least a part of my culture, you know. So let's see. Hello, I have to pop out to do some things. All right, so yes, hugs to you as well. Shadowlander has sent a couple pictures of your new iPad case. Cool beans. So anyway, I present to you guys the Practical Magic Pinoy Tarot. Diane says, I know, right? Sometimes we pay more for shipping, but it's worth it. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not like this is ever going to be sold anywhere else except out of the Philippines from Chingay. So I was like, okay, whatever. I pay what I have to pay, but she makes fabulous stuff. And as soon as I got it yesterday, it was so talkative, and I did readings until I literally passed out on the bed. And my dude woke me up. I don't even know what time it was. And he was like, you're going to smush your cards. You're literally sleeping on your cards. And that's all I remember is going, no. And like putting my cards away. And then I fell back asleep. I'm like, no, I'm smushing my cards. Plus you're supporting another artist and it always comes back. Yeah, and I love supporting indie decks too. Got the Magic of You Oracle yesterday. A little dark, but I think I'm gonna love it. Also, the Spellcasting Oracle's on the way. The Magic of You Oracle, I've always kind of been on the fence about, because although I do have dark decks, I don't know how I, jive with that one. I'm like, that one's, it's on the wish list, but I'm like, I'm on the fence. So Jillifer, yay, you made it back. So, okay. First of all, it's like Chingay has like put a spell all over this box, which I think is so freaking cool. It's not really a spell, it's parts of the Philippine national anthem, which I think is like pretty cool. It'll be amazing to collect tarot oracle cards from different countries. Yes, in fact, I just did my a video yesterday, or posted yesterday, of like my non-English decks. So decks that I have that are in Japanese, Spanish, German, French, I think other like forms of Spanish. So, all right, C-Cat made it back too. Yes, T-Cat, you made it. I was too, but the pull was stronger than me. The force was strong with this one. And Aries made it back over too. Okay, so We have Dika Pasisiil, which is like don't let yourself be oppressed, or don't be oppressed, fight the oppression. And then sa dibdib moi buhay, which is what my dad would always say is moi buhay, buhay, which is like your breath is life. Duang kang magating, which is like you are strong or you have strength. Alam buso, which is like fire heart or heart of fire. So I don't know. I think that that's pretty cool that that's kind of like written all over the deck. So, bye. Okay. Now you have to update your non-English decks. I know, now I have to update that video because literally another one just made it in. Okay, so these are the backs, pretty much like the box. And then all of the collage images here came from images that Chingay found in like old magazines and books that she found at like thrift stores and swap meets and you know, just like antique shops and stuff like that, and then put it all together just so that she could have a deck that was strictly like Philippine culture, which I was like, heck yeah. So she says she opted to put the names of the suits in English just because she said that, well, I mean, and like the majors, she did it in Tagalog and English, but she said it's just like easier to write it out in English than it is in Tagalog because like the wording is a lot longer. So, and Emily made it back, hey! A beautiful language I can hear you speak all day long. Oh my gosh. I probably have like the heaviest American accent. So like a true native speaker. And Tagalog is, although one of the main languages, there's so many other like languages and variations of the freaking 10,000 islands. So, so sometimes like people, depending on where you come from in the Philippines, may not even understand Tagalog, which is like so cool. Okay, so like for the Six of Cups, like each card has a word in Tagalog. However, there's a little like fold out book that has what it would be in English. So like one side's in English and one side is in Tagalog, which I think is pretty cool. But anyway, here are some of the cards. Oh, Catherine, hello. Diane said, OMG, I have accent in all languages. I don't speak nothing perfect. You know, speaking of accents, my mom, for some reason, okay, so my mom was unhappy because she said that when I spoke English, I spoke with an accent. My mother is like, your first language is English, therefore you shouldn't have an accent. But the area that I grew up in, like literally all of my friends, you know, we're a very well mixed area, and most everybody just speaks Spanish. So all of my friends are from Mexico, so they all have Mexican accents. If when I'm going to school and when I'm playing outside, all of my friends have an accent. When I'm growing up, I'm gonna have an accent because, except for my mom and dad, like, well, even my dad kind of like has a little bit of an accent because he grew up speaking Tagalog and Spanish. He doesn't know it anymore, but you know, it's still kind of there. But yeah, like my mom's like, she was like trying ways to like eliminate my accent. And she's like you barely even speak Spanish. And I was like, yeah, but like I ended up like learning it like from my friends, like just like having to learn it because a lot of my friends' parents like didn't speak English, so I just kind of had to like learn Spanish. And then my nana, of course, she was always like partially speaking to me in Spanglish, like English and Spanish. So I kind of just, that's how I learned it. And so yeah, I had an accent. And so my mom was like constantly trying to rid me of it. And then my boyfriend, when I told him about that story, he started laughing and he was like, you know what? He says, let me tell you something. He says, when you've had a little bit to drink, like wine or whatever, he says, that accent comes out big time. He says, I was like, he says, like, we were like together, like drinking one time and like your accent changed. And I was like, she know she has an accent right now? And he says, so I've always just kind of gone with it, like whatever, she has an accent when she drinks. And he was like, but he's like, your attitude changes. And he's like, you turn into literally like sassy mamacita. Like he says, you all of a sudden become like really fiery and really sassy, and your accent comes out big time. He says, you start half speaking in Spanish. And I'm like, what the hell is she saying? Like, so, and I'm like, okay. So we always say that when I drink, Rosa comes out. Rosa is my alter ego. And so when we drink wine, he says that's Rosa. That's when Rosa comes out. And when we have tequila, that's Carmelita. Carmelita comes out. So just in case you guys wanted to know. Let's see. Oh, go back. I missed your guys' comments. Sherry Bug says, I've been told I speak Spanish with a French accent. Nice. Diane's like, programs, hun, it's all programs. Yep. King Edward, just be you. Oh, thank you. Says, actually, everyone has an accent. True. Because when I would ever travel abroad, they'd always say, I love your American accent. And I'm like, really? I have an accent? And we do. We all do. And I think accents are beautiful, by the way. And even like dialects. Like even in different parts of the U.S., like not everybody like sounds the same. Like I can take like a Southern drawl like anytime. Like I love the sound of a Southern drawl. I will even take the sound of somebody from Long Island or New York like speaking. Like I just think it's so awesome. Or even in Montana, there's a little bit. And then there's the Dakotas. Oh my goodness. Like I love it. I love how everybody just speaks. It's just so cool. Let's see. When I was a kid, people always said I sounded Australian. I never lived there, but my dad did as a kid for years. So I think I may have a bit of a twang. Cool. My sister lives in Australia in Sydney now, and she sounds so Aussie. It says, you learn Spanish from the University of the Streets. That's what I did. Love my drunk accents. Yes. Like Beyonce. My children don't hear my accent. I've been living in Brazil for 30 years, but all their friends say I speak funny. Yes, I have a drinking accent. Shadowlander, no matter where you're from, with speaking, everyone has different dialectical accents. Yes, exactly. Like when I was in Italy, and as much as I was trying to like sound Italian, it got to a point, you know, while I was there, that I could pass for, what they say I sounded like? Southern Italian. And I was like, I'll take it. If I could pass, you know, because then people started talking to me in Italian. They thought I was legit from Italy. And I was like, cool. And they thought I was like Southern Italian. I was like, nice. And then when I wouldn't know, because I don't have the full Italian vocabulary, I was like inserting Spanish, because a lot of them know Spanish anyway. So I was like, and so they were like, oh, like your accent is unusual. So like maybe you're from Spain or Greece. I was like, oh no, I'm from America. And that's when like we were on this whole like, they wouldn't believe me that I was from the States. They thought I was an immigrant. I was like, well, no, like my grandparents are immigrants, but like I'm not an immigrant. I was like, but like basically like, well, most of my family is immigrants. The other ones are Native American, but they were already here. Let's see. And OMG is here. Hello, or OMG. So we're just kind of looking at this brand new deck that I got yesterday from the Philippines. So I'm just kind of showing it off. This is the Pinoy Practical Magic Deck, and you can get it from the Philippines, from Chingay, Labrador. T-Cat said, my mom once said to me that I sometimes speak like Yoda, like to the store. To the store, I will go, I don't know if it has anything to do with an accent, but I kind of like it. Hey, my dude and I speak Yoda sometimes, okay? I don't know, OMG, if I'm going to be doing tarot readings today. We've just kind of been chit-chatting. I was showing off some books. Now I'm showing off one of my brand new decks. But we shall see. Like, okay, like sometimes, like, obviously, like if my dude and I are gonna have a drink, it's gonna be a Saturday night. That's really the only time we'll have like a beer or some wine or have some of our, what was that? I'm like, what is that? Whiskey. It's whiskey, but it tastes like peanut butter. So I'm like, what is that called again? It's whiskey. It's called Screwball. This is Yoda, good compliment. Who, this is who we are. Stores fan, yes. So like sometimes my dude will be like, he's like, to the fridge I will go. He goes, drinking we shall do. I'm like, yes. Mm. I'm like, we shall try. It's like, oh, we don't try. Do or do not. There is no try. Yes. My dude and I are like big dorks. Like we're just like we're made for each other because we're just a couple of dorks. Like my cat keeps barfing. He is 13. Oh no, Christina, that is so sad. Have you like tried changing up the diet or taking him to the vet or something to maybe some anti-nausea stuff? Because I know like throwing up, it's so hard on them. And aw, poor little things. Sending love to your kitty. Shadowlander, according to my birth parents and some of my physical features, I'm partly Native American. Oh, cool. Yoda actually uses Japanese grammatical structure. Actually, the grammatical structure too is a lot of other languages. Like, like sometimes the like noun, and like instead of saying the house is red, it would be house red. Like in Spanish, it would be like casa roja, something like that. So technically, Yoda is speaking correct grammar in somebody's language. Try not, do, yes. Shadowlander, not sure what tribe though. My family is pretty sure we're Pima. I mean, we have pictures of like family and everybody like in actual traditional dress. So I mean, I could like do the whole like Dawes Scrolls thing and like find out if we're actually Pima, but whatever. I'm like, I mean, the family doesn't need, I guess, like proof. Like we have proof. So, let's see. Your dude needs to be on a live sometime. Sometime, but he works all the time. He like works 6 days a week. So, Christina, I think it's because we're mix some wet food in with his dry food. Oh, I see. Susie said Frank Oz is Yoda and Muppets. Oh, you lovely people. Sure you know how to make this Saturday lively. I thank you all so much. I needed this. I'm smiling and laughing so much with y'all. Well, yay. That's what I'm always trying to do. Have a little fun Saturday with y'all. My cat is all black and no one would adopt him. That was something I talked about in my video where I did, it was for Black Cat Appreciation Day, for Loki. Loki had his own spread that, black cats are a very difficult, because there's different breeds of black cat, but black cats in general, it's harder for them to be adopted just because of like sometimes cultural superstitions and myths, surrounding black cats. So I'm always like, if you're going to adopt and you don't mind a black kitty, like maybe adopt a little black fur baby, Let's see, I'm wanting to do a genetic test to find out what my genetic heritage is at some point. I have done that. I did it through ancestry.com and I've kind of like built my tree out. I think a few of my other family members have done it too. And then they keep updating the system based on all the new DNA that's coming in. And it just like kind of starts like refining things, which I also think is really neat. But yeah, I mean, basically all the stories that I heard like from my Nana, she was like, we're from Sonora, Mexico. And she says, and we're Pima Indian, and so when it was tracking like my Native American heritage, it showed that it came from Sonora, Mexico. So I was like, okay, so, I mean, I could do, like I said, like the whole like proving, but whatever. We don't need to prove nothing. But yeah, it shows, like like there's Filipino in there, there's a little bit of Polynesian, of course, a little bit of Chinese, but it's kind of like all mixed in, like 'cause traveling, basically. And then there was, of course, German from my grandfather's side. And then from like Ireland, my grandmother's side, there was like a lot of people from Kerry and Limerick, which is true. And there was a lot of Scottish in there, which I thought was funny because my grandmother used to say all kinds of things about the Scottish. And I was like, aren't the Scottish and the Irish like kind of similar? She was like, oh, the Irish are their own people, sweetie. And I was like, okay. I'm just saying like Scottish is cool too. Turns out we got Scottish too. Let's see. Says, I love black cats. I grew up with a black cat called Wallace. Oh, was it Sir William Wallace? Who passed away a long time ago. He was definitely psychic. We had a black cat called Tackleberry. Tackleberry from like Police Academy. Yes. Who passed away last year too. Well, now you have little angel fur babies who are around you all the time. OT Cat, you know how mums are. At least we know you're speaking with wisdom for sure. Does anyone have the Daniloff Tarot? I haven't even heard of that one. Do tell. Catherine said George Lucas was a huge Japanese cinema fan, so he named Yoda after a famous member of the Japanese cinema and decided to use Japanese grammar for Yoda. The more you know. That is actually really cool. Cool. That is really cool. Let's see. Sherry Bug, black dogs are also more difficult to adopt. Really? Black dogs too? People need to get over their superstitions. Okay, fur babies just want a forever home. They're just looking for love. No matter the color of their fur or the speckles or the spots or or anything. I was adopted when I was 5, so don't know the truth of my genetic heritage. I know my adopted heritage. Shadowlander, my Nana's father was adopted, and one of my uncles, my dad's half-brother, because my Nana was married so many times, my Uncle Joe, which is actually one of my favorite uncles, his dad was also adopted, his Filipino father, who he knew was half Filipino and half Japanese, but like that's basically all he really knew about himself. He was from the Philippines. Let's see. My Jingles is black and love her. Says, yes, my hubby named him Tackleberry. That is so cool. They're also the Scotch Irish. The British sent Protestant Scots to live in Ireland to try and push out the Irish Catholics. Yeah, my grandmother not tells me now as in present tense, but told me all of those stories. And she even tried at one point, she gave me a bunch of cassette tapes to try and learn Gaelic. Usually I'm like really good with languages. I don't think I would ever in a million years be able to pick up Gaelic. Like that is a hard language. And I picked up Arabic, like Syrian Arabic, like Arabe Suri, like really easily, but not Gaelic. I'm like listening to it. I'm like, Grandma, I don't think I'm gonna speak Gaelic. And she was like, oh, you could be a little Irish baby. I'm like a really brown Irish baby. She's like, there's brown Irish babies. Hey, Garrett. Let's see. Do you have the Weird Cat Tarot? I do. It is one of my favorite decks. I say you should get it, Diane. I'm just here to be your enabler. I'm your tarot enabler. Shadowlander, we had a black lab puppy and he wasn't meant for city life. He was more of a country boy. How many times was my Nana married? 4 times. The only official record of marriage was to my grandfather, who was from Cebu. The other 3, everybody says maybe she got married down in Mexico. That's what she says. So, but otherwise, I don't know, 4 times. She had 8 kids. And getting divorces in the 40s, I think, was kind of a big deal, and the 50s. Let's see. I'm cuddling with my German Shepherd right now. Aw, give him extra smooches. Shadowlander, Gaelic is nearly a dead language. Yeah, but it's kind of cool when you hear people speak it. Oh, it looks like my dude's film is showing up. He owns his own business, which is why he's busy all the time. But he installs window film, like for residential and commercial, not cars or anything. So like we always have these film boxes that, so many boxes, but you know, so. Someone's at the door. Let's see. That's okay, they just leave it there. Says, yes, I've tried to learn Gaelic also. Holy cow, makes trying to learn Russian look easy. I know, right? I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I thought Arabic was hard. I thought German would be hard, but no, Gaelic. I'm like, oh, wow. I have a brown lab named Bailey. Oh, sounds like a cutie. It says, oh, you and I have the same taste, girl. We get in trouble with getting the decks. Yes. Have you seen my mini tarot, the super small, good for the charms? I don't think so, Diane. So I will probably have to pop on to one of your lives that you do, and I'll have to check it out. Hey, Jonathan, aloha. It says, do you know of any tarot decks that can help in working with the Morrigan? Off the top of my head, I do not. But perhaps somebody in the chat might be able to have some pointers, but off the top of my head, I don't know. Christina said, when my husband went to Ireland 10 years ago, they were speaking Gaelic. Yeah, that's so cool. Like, I love to hear it spoken. I can't learn it to save my life. I actually posted a photo with messages of the day on Instagram. Oh, okay. So Diane, I will go check that out then for sure. Okay, so in honor of my brand new Pinoy Practical Magic Tarot, I brought out a book that I've been slowly making my way through, and I have mentioned it on the channel before, but it's the Philippine folk tales, and it's just really short stories, but they're all broken up into different dialectical regions, but it's been translated into English, and this is actually a reprint of a book from 1912. So there was a husband and wife that wanted to try to get as much of the different types of Philippine culture that there was at the time, before basically modernization and everything, kills all of that, with different like tribes and language and stories, and a lot of it being oral and not a lot being written down. So they wanted to capture as much of that as possible before things got too industrialized. And so that's where this book comes from. But Forgotten Books also has a lot of free books for you guys to read on their website. So if you want to check them out, they're called Forgotten Books. Hold on, it's up here. Forgotten Books. And they have a lot of free stuff. And those are kind of like the different categories that they have. So, definitely check it out. Let's see. Just looking at your comments. I also created my own oracle for the Morrigan. I used the Crow Tarot and the Celtic Wisdom Tarot, but also looking at getting the Murder of Crows now too. Ooh, I haven't heard of that one. I also want the mass market Dark Goddess deck. Oh yeah, the Dark Goddess deck, that's one that I had always kind of lusted over. Christina's like, love the free stuff. So yeah, if you guys want some free things to read, it's of course online, but it's at forgottenbooks.com. Okay, so I have a little story for you guys, and it's from, I guess, like a certain part, and you would consider them Tingyan. So Tingyan, man and the Alan. And the Alan are like really scary like creatures, like spirit creatures. You don't want to run into them, the Alan. So let me read this. You can see it's just a very short, like little story. So adult story time. So this one's not for children. Okay. A Tingyan once was once walking along a trail in the wood when he heard a strange sound in a large tree near him. And looking up, he was startled to see that it was the home of the Alan, spirits who live in the wood. He stopped and gazed for a moment at the horrible creatures, large as people, hanging from the limbs of the tree with their heads down like bats. They had wings to fly, and their toes were at the back of their feet, while their long fingers, which pointed backward, were fastened at the wrist. Surely, thought the man, these terrible beings will eat me if they catch me. I will run away as fast as I can while they are asleep. He tried to run, but he was too frightened, and after a few steps he fell face down on the ground. At this, the Alan began to wail loudly, for they saw him fall and believed him dead, and they came down out of the tree with gold and beads which they laid on him. After a while the man gathered courage, and jumping up, he cried as loudly as he could, "Go away!" The Alan did not move, but they looked at him and said, "Give us the one bead, Nagaba, a peculiar bead of double effect, and you can have the rest." When the man refused to do this, they were angry and turned away, crying, "Then we are going to burn your house, for you are a bad man." Thereupon the man went home as fast as he could go, but very soon after that his house burned, for the Alan had kept their word. So like sometimes a lot of these little stories are like to teach people a lesson, like, hey, you know, if the Alan are, or any creature or something that you come across as being kind to you, like, hey, maybe if they ask you for something, they say you can have all of this, but we need this one thing, maybe you're not like a jerk to them, because maybe they'll burn your house down. So yeah, so you know, it's just like little stories that are meant to like teach you a lesson and make sure that you're kind to good spirits, and like how creation, like it's all kinds of stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. Let me go back. I missed some comments. Says Catherine says, I think they have the Murder of the Crows in the Witch's Moon store. Really? I will have to check that out then. Silver Star said, I love my Dark Goddess deck. Yes, the new Murder Crow Tarot is getting ready to come out. Can't wait. Yay! They are just getting them in the ship I work in, so I'm definitely going to grab one. Oh, cool. Or in the shop. Not on the ship. Yes, moral of the story, don't mess with bats, basically. And Butterfly, hey, how are you? So yeah, we, wow, this chat has been all over. We are on our second chat today. It says, I love the stories you read, but I'm weird. That probably happened. So, oh, wait, hold on. Did I just lose my page? No. Okay, no, I didn't. What's the other one is? I don't know, that other one. I don't know. I'll read the other one later. But anyway, so yeah, our chat has been all over. We went through the brief Tarot of Transformation. This book is freaking awesome. I can't wait to finally finish it and like do a review of it, because I'm already smitten. I've already done a lot of journaling. There's stuff that I could use for my students in there. Like, heck yeah, that book rocks. I'm gonna give it the Cadillac of reviews, okay? we read The Very Brave Lion, because that was supposed to be for Leo, but then during our chat, we had Rory show up today. And Leo came on the Leo new moon, which was pretty awesome. Let me just put my little lions there. Okay. And then we went over the Pinoy Practical Magic Tarot, and then we got a little Philippine story. So, and of course we had our story time, like regular story time. So, let me see. So yeah, we're just kind of always all over the place with our chats. Best type of weird though. This says, I think we are all a little strange, or we wouldn't be here. I know I am. Yes, we're all mad here. Jonathan said, almost my season. Yay! And Syrian, on a serious note, sorry to tempt you all with this news on Oracle Tarot that's happening right now on Kickstarter. It's from my favorite artist, James R. Eads. Should I dare check out Kickstarter? Because I already have like 4 decks. I'm still waiting. I mean, Kickstarter's already ended on them, but I'm waiting for them to ship, and they won't ship till the end of the year. That's dangerous territory. I don't know. Says we'll have to check out that book, Tarot Transformation. It looks like a door stopper. Definitely. When I showed my dude, he's like, "What is that? War and Peace?" I'm like, "No, this is Tarot and Transformation." Hey Joanne, hello. So I'm calling dibs on gifting the Cosmovisions Oracle deck to you if you haven't heard of it yet. When I saw the deck, I thought of you. Also, thank you for opening this wonderful community. Oh, you're welcome. And I have seen the Cosmovisions. I don't have it though, but I have seen it. I think it looks pretty freaking rad, to be honest. Michelle said, I didn't have any of the decks, but bought them all on the Kickstarter from that artist. Really? I might have to check it out. And Gemma, hello. Sai is waiting for Scorpio season. Well, you know, Scorpio season 2, because that's my rising. So, you know, I got the Gemini, I got the Libra, and I got the Scorpio. Like, woo! Oh, that reminds me, you guys. Okay, let me look at the rest of your comments, and then I will tell you a little something, something. Let's see, the shipping is slow. Yeah, and right now everything's shipping is slow, so I'm not like all in a wad for like everything to like get here ASAP. I'm just like, whatever. Things will get here when they get here, and by then I'll have forgotten about it. It'll be a surprise. So let's see. Yeah, the Kickstarter decks I'm waiting on are taking so long, kind of annoying. Yes, I'm Scorpio rising to, hey, Emily, high five. Jonathan, I have so many Kickstarters I'm waiting on, but I'm finding ones I can't live without. See, well, I'd have to check on my phone, which I'm using for the chat right now. But let's see, what am I waiting on? I'm waiting on, it's like the Past Lives Oracle deck. It's the, there's the botanical one that like blew up and went crazy, and like they raised all kinds of money for. Let's see, I'm also doing the Nest of Light Oracle that I'm waiting for from my friend Wasima, because I mean, she's my friend, so of course I was going to back her. And then I just pre-ordered the I Don't Care Oracle, and that's by my best friend in Belgium. So hey, you want to show her some love? It's actually on coremagic.com. It's on Wasima's website if you wanted to pre-order, so it's not on Kickstarter or anything. But it's the I Don't Care Oracle, and they had a lovely French artist like do all of their cards, and I think it looks so cool. And the cover, my friend Steph's like, this is my alter ego, and the person on the cover looks like me. And I was like, Steph, do you realize you literally put me on the cover of your deck? And she was like, oh my God. I was like, this is my alter ego. I'm like, I'm your alter ego. She is my sister from another mister. So I think it's kind of funny now that I look at the cover of like her, like the box of her deck. I'm like, it's me. Let's see. Yeah, the Uncovering Your Past Lives Oracle. That's the one that I backed. Whoa, hold on. This is, hey, OMG, you look extra super hot today. Wow, thanks, Jezebel. I am doing fantastic. Jonathan said, Virgo Sun, Libra Moon, Taurus Rising. Ooh, got the nurturing vibes in there. Heck yeah. Good parental vibes too. Catherine said, the post office is a total chaos because of funding. You know, well, yeah. But I've gotten to know the people that work at my local post office, and they are the sweetest people ever. Like, you know, when you go in there and you feel like you're in a small town. I don't live in a small town, but like you feel small town when you're in there, because it's like it's like Cheers, everybody knows your name. It's like, hey, Tara. I'm like, hey, guys. And so they're always asking me, and they're like super old too. They're like kind of ancient, but they're like, how's your YouTube channel? We subscribed. And I was like, cool. They're like, we have no idea like what tarot really is, but you look like you have a lot of fun doing it, and we are here to support you. Let you know that your local post office has your back. I'm like, thanks, dudes. But they're the coolest. They always try to help me out. Like when I have to ship packages, they'll be like, you could do the flat rate shipping. Or actually this time, if you put it in your own package, you would save $2. I was like, oh, well, let's put it on our own package then. Let's do that. So they're always trying to save me money. They're like the coolest guys. So I love the homies at my post office. And I don't know why they have such a low rating, like on Yelp. And I was like, what buttholes are giving my dudes like a low rating at that post office? And I think it's because they take the time to talk to people, and some people don't want conversation. They just want to be in and out. And these guys like conversation. It's like, hey, how's your day? How are you doing? And they know who you are. So they're asking you like, how's your kids, or how's school going? Or we know that track season's coming around. How's track, and then they want to, help you the best way they can, saving money with your shipping. And then it's like, have a nice day. And some people are like, they don't want to talk. And I'm like, you know what? You need to go take your cranky self to a different post office. Oh my gosh, like a bunch of little, what you call it? Like finches, like little yellow finches just like flew by. I was like, cool. Okay, let's go back to your comments. Oh, Michelle missed out on the Past Lives Oracle. I'm sure it'll be up for sale after all the Kickstarter decks go out. Syrian said, if I could afford, I would gift you all here, but I will do an unboxing video and do an amazing review. So yes, I will look at all the eye candies for sure. All right, Joanne, you have a fantastic weekend. Stay warm or cool, depending on which hemisphere you live in. Chantal said, I'm so glad I'm not tempted to buy so many decks anymore. I've become quite picky, and I'm very happy with the ones I have. I've gotten more picky, though, except for a lot of the ones that are coming out are my style. And so I'm like, oh, I have to be even more discerning. This is so hard. T-Cat said, off topic, when do you know you're ready to give readings for others? I've studied tarot for a long time now, but I still feel kind of startled at the thought. Okay, so T-Cat, because I knew that I could read tarot for others because I had after doing it for a while, I would read for friends and it'd be cool. And I think the only thing, and I would even read for people I didn't know, like it would be like at a party and people bring friends and I don't know these friends, and I would read for them. And I knew that I had the skills, but it was just the confidence that I was lacking. And it was like well, if I charge people money, and what if I get it wrong? And it was just one day I just had to like go for it. And I charged, but I charged like minimal, like not that much, just to like get some readings in. And then I asked, that I put, if you get a reading for me, all I ask in return, because it was like such a cheap reading that I used to give, is if you could just please give me feedback on the reading. And so I did that for about a year or so. And not everybody gave me feedback, but enough people gave me feedback where it was like, okay, and that actually built my confidence. And then once I started building that confidence, I started changing my prices so that it was more in line with the actual energy expenditure. Because if I'm spending an hour on somebody's reading, which takes a lot of energy, by the way, I probably need more than $5. Which at the time I was like, okay, just $5, but I was just trying to get as many readings as I could under my belt. And so now I think that, and I'm not trying to like charge a ton for my readings either. I just want like the energy exchange, whether it be like monetary or whatever. And sometimes I do a different exchange with people, like especially if it's in person and somebody's like, hey, I just want like a quick reading. Do you mind if I, we meet up at Starbucks and I buy you like a tea and a croissant or something? I'm like, cool. If you want to buy me lunch, like I'll do you a reading. Like it doesn't always have to be cash with me. Like sometimes I barter. But yeah, and so, now my confidence, I mean, it's pretty good. I always still have I don't know how that reading went because that was like some big information, but I'll get like this whole like, them responding and they were like, oh my God, you were so on point. And I was like, really? Tell me more. So yeah, okay, so let me go back here. Emily finally ordered the Falarcos from Wasima this week. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. Have you guys checked out Colette Baron Reed's new 7 Energies deck? I haven't, but I will have to take a look at that. Oh, the one devoted to Callie that's coming out by, what's her name? Oh, she makes a lot of decks. What is her name? But yeah, there's a Callie one specifically for Callie just coming out, and I am going to be all over that one. Aw, Serene. Aries, me too. I love colorful decks. Oh, Emily was talking about, yes, everybody knows your name. Yes, like at the post office, it is Cheers. And the Lightseer Tarot, yes. When you order so much online that your post office knows your name. I know, is that like a bad thing? I love when people want to talk story. Also, it's called in Hawaii. Yeah, my buddy RJ, he lives out in Oahu. He's like, sometimes people just want to sit and chat. Like people aren't about like just like wham bam, thank you ma'am. Like they want to sit and have a conversation with you, which I think is cool. Yes, they're so cool at my post office. They want to see my wands and lucky boxes. Aww. My post office is nice too. They don't care how I walk in, not showered yet. They don't care. Yeah, at my post office, I'll be like just straight from the gym back when the gyms were open. I'd be like in my gym gear, and there's the one guy that always walks around the back, and he's like, what up, my sister? I'm like, what up, my brother? He's like, nice. You're rocking the guns today. Did you just work out? I'm like, I just worked out. He's like, nice. He's like, you fitting to break up? Like, you fitting to like get some weightlifting equipment today? I'm like, no, I'm actually just picking up a letter today. I was like, I know that your like carriers probably hate me because I've bought like weightlifting equipment for my dude. And it's like when they have to carry 30 pounds to my front door, I know that they're just cussing at me like under their breath. They're like, freaking chick. Cause she probably just like bought a bunch of bricks to just like piss me off. Let's see. Butterfly, you are in California. Wow, must be nice to have winter with green grass. Well, in parts of California, the grass is green. I live where we don't have a whole lot of rain, so my grass is brown. Actually, we don't have much grass. Actually, we call these weeds. We call them tumbleweeds. Let's see. Sometimes I don't close the box so they can see the wands I make, and that's what's in the lucky box of the month. Aw. Yes, I do have VIP hookups. Actually, I have legit VIP hookups at my post office. Like when you're not a jerk to them, they'll be nice to you. Okay, so Diane makes a box of the month full of goodies. It's a mystery box. You don't know what's inside until you get it. Ooh, Diane, tell us, like put your website, tell us where we can get this. I like my post office ladies, never have to show my ID. Yeah, I never have to show my ID anymore. Unless there's a new person or they're training somebody, then they have to go like through procedure. But Catherine, I'm working with others to sign a petition to save the post office. Yes, thank you. Energy exchange is empowering for both ends. It's very important. Oh yes, I was trying to remember. Alana Fairchild, that's the one making the Cali deck. Michelle says, I can do free readings for Biddy Tarot and it takes so much energy. Sometimes they can take me 2 or 3 hours because there was a lot to say. And when they don't give me feedback, it's disheartening. It is like, it literally, like when you're doing a reading for somebody, it's a lot of energy. I get really hungry. I get really thirsty. I get really hot and sweaty, which is kind of gross, but It's like I'm literally like dizzy and I need a nap, like especially after like a big reading. So there needs to be that exchange, you know. So whether your reading is free, but you get something in exchange, like some sort of verbal something, you know, you got to have that. Otherwise, it's like depletion, which is no bueno. Jonathan says, is RJ a hairdresser? No, he is. What the heck does RJ do? Okay, so he does a couple of things. First, he is a professor at the whatever local community college in Oahu. And I have no idea what he's a professor of, by the way. I just know he's a professor. And then, so he works part-time there, but then he's also a developer. So he creates affordable housing. So he takes bits of land that really nobody wants, and it's usually like the non-touristy parts of the island. So bits of land that nobody's really using, nobody wants, he develops on it, and then he builds like affordable housing, a lot of Section 8 type stuff, just so there's, because, you know, people need places to live, and apparently there's like a huge waiting list for Section 8. So, you know, so he's trying to get those developments, you know, underway, and they do cost a lot of money. So sometimes he's gotta like fundraise to, you know, do some of that stuff. And there was one time where they were doing some drilling and they ran into literally a hard place because they hit coral. And so they couldn't drill anymore because it literally, the coral broke the drills. So they had to go develop somewhere else. And also, like, you literally need, like in certain areas, like the kahuna's blessing, like otherwise you can't develop. Like if you don't get like the okay, like they're like, no, you can't build anything here. But he's gotten in pretty good with everybody, and so they like him over there. Let's see. Dan said, I still have not seen a deck with hairstyles and colors for hairdressers. That would be cool. That would be cool. So I said, not grass, cactus. Seriously. This is okay. Then the RJ I know is a hairdresser. Your RJ sounds awesome. He's a really cool dude. Oh, and he's also, I forgot his other part-time job. Okay, so he's a land developer / part-time professor / yoga instructor. So he also does yoga. And since their yoga studios just got shut back down again, and he was so upset because he was like, there was no COVID or anything among, because they were like doing their distancing and all of that, but it was like more like the hot yoga and everything that he says just ruined it for everybody. But he does online yoga now just to kind of like keep things going, you know, while we're in all this stuff. Let's see, Diane said, I used to make a video on YouTube showing what's inside, but it turned into being a mystery box. So no showing what's inside. Ooh, mystery. And so we had a kahuna come to do a house blessing when we moved into our current house. It was amazing. That would be amazeballs. Oh my gosh. We had, we didn't get to have a kahuna over here, but I had one of my buddies. Okay, so my Canadian mom, her son is like one of my really good friends. And okay, technically, I guess he's old enough to be my dad, but he's, you know, Scott. He's really cool. And he has a husband named Ariel. And so they both like came over and like they kind of do this stuff together. But he did a whole like house clearing / blessing. Like he's been training in shamanism for like a really long time. And then he was in the Amazon for I don't know how long, like doing like his shamanism, like work and all of that. So he's like a legit shaman. And so he came here, and that was crazy. He was here for a while. I think he had come back like a second time too to do like a little follow-up, but that was crazy. But I would love to see a kahuna like do that. Kahuna equals Hawaiian holy man, shaman. So, but I would think that the kahuna would be different because it's a different culture, you know, obviously. Different than what like my buddy Scott and Ariel would do. But yeah, that would be so cool. Like totally cool. Okay, let me have some tea. Oh, it's only 12:30. Okay, what was I gonna say? I tabled something and then I forgot what I was gonna tell you guys. Oh well, it'll come to me. I'm like, no, there was something that happened that I really wanted to share. If any of you guys remember what I was gonna table, because I totally forgot. Yes, stay hydrated, everyone, for sure. Kahuna works with Mana of Hawaii and the gods of Hawaii. That's so cool. That's so, so cool. Halloween's going to be interesting this year. I hope we can do gatherings again, at least getting closer to Halloween, Dia de los Muertos, because I don't want because the same friend of mine, he and his husband throw a huge Dia de los Muertos party. They have their friend come over. Her name is Mary Street, like Merry. Like her name literally is Mary. And she's really gifted, and we bring pictures of our loved ones, and we have the very special bread, and we eat and have good times, talk about our loved ones. Then at the end of the night, if you want, you can stick around, and she comes around the table and you put the pictures in front of you that you brought, and she tries to connect with the person in the picture, and she brings messages. And so that's kind of her thing. She'll do some tarot readings while she's there, and I never really bust out my tarot deck because it's kind of like her night. She's doing her thing, and I don't want to be like, hey, I got a tarot deck too. So I'm just like, I keep it in my purse, just in case. Let's see. Quickly running to grab water bottle. Yes, Jezebel, I'm a bit embarrassed. I thought Big Kahuna meant big ball. There's other meanings too, Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Blue moon on Hawaii. Really? There's a blue moon on Halloween. Ooh, makes it even more cool. It says you didn't say, so we don't know. Oh, can't wait till fall. Yes. And then I will want it to be summer again. My favorite holiday. Are you dressing up? I always dress up. Like, even if we're not going anywhere, I'm going to dress up. And we'll probably get 0 trick-or-treaters again because I live on a really, really, really steep hill. But maybe I can entice, because I know that there's kids on either side of me. So maybe I can entice them to come here before they go to the rich neighborhoods to get the king-size candy bars. Like, come on over, kids. I got some candy for you. I do. I always buy all this candy. And then, yeah. All right, T-Cat is taking off, so you have yourself a good night and a great weekend. Sherry Bug's like, kahuna is different than cojones. Yes, if somebody has the big cojones, that's a little bit different. Emily can't wait till Halloween. Friday the 13th in November. Nice. Emily, I have to figure out what I'm going to be this year. My dude usually always dresses up as the same thing. He always dresses up as Iceman from Top Gun because he has an actual naval uniform. Not that he's ever been in the Navy, but his best friend's dad is like a really high-ranking officer in the military. He's retired now, but he got them both naval uniforms, but they had to promise that they would not wear them where other military people might see them. So like no impersonating an officer. But yeah, they have legit like uniforms, and he got them all the pins and stuff. So like his best friend could be Maverick and like my boyfriend could be Iceman. And they've been doing that since probably for 20 years. I'm like, it's time for you to get a new belt because your belt is yellow and your shoes have turned yellow. So, but yeah, he's always Iceman. Sometimes he dresses up as something else. like he one year dressed up as Tobias. I don't know if you guys know Adam Carolla, but Adam Carolla's alter ego is Tobias. And so my boyfriend pretended to be a psychic, and he dressed up like Tobias. And so he like had the little like purple sunglasses, and he's like, yes, yes, Tobias knows everything. Yes, tell me, what do you need to know? First, slip me $100. Okay, tell me now. What do you need to know? Okay, no. He says, Tobias is going to need a back rub. You're going to have to give Tobias a back rub, and then I give you a reading. And I'm like, Tobias is a creepy. And he's like, it's not creepy if I'm your boyfriend. Yeah, Tobias is going to need you to make me a sandwich. I'm like, what? Let's see. Looking forward to seeing your costumes. Yes, I have a whole like bin of costumes underneath the house. My boyfriend says that my closet is actually costumes, but I'm like, no, those are called everyday clothes. And he's like, no, what you wear every day is a costume. He's like, I've never seen you wear normal clothes. I'm like, who wants to wear normal clothes? Let's see. Ooh, I would want to be Shira. That would be awesome. Okay. I'm still like, gosh, like there was something, it's like bothering me because I wanted to tell you guys something and I don't remember. Oh, okay, I remember. Let's see, our neighborhood is usually the place to be for Halloween, but I have no idea what this year will look like. True. Oh, or Gem and the Holograms. I would totally do Gem and the Holograms. I still have my Gem and the Holograms like dolls that I played with my Barbie. The Saki Saki Tarot is being re-released at some point. FYI, y'all. I heard about that because I do follow the Instagrams. And I love the Saki Saki Tarot, by the way. Would you ever think of creating Discord or any other platform that can include that as one of your tiers on Patreon, that we can include pictures and feedback to your lives like this? I do on my Patreon, I do have like a live chat tier where we could just like have a chat. I mean, usually my chats are a little more structured and themed. Like, you know, if I want to talk more about like this or we're creating a spell, but you know, we could still like chat too. So I do have a tier that's like this as well, but it's like also like a really like learny type stuff. So I'm usually like doing some spell work or, you know, sharing a little something, or I create like a spread that's specifically for my patrons. So I do have a tier like that if you want to check it out. It is my $10 tier, is my live chat tier. It's called my live chat crew. Still love your YouTube, of course, too. Hey, I'd like to go as Rosemary from Rosemary's Baby. Oh, Emily, that'd be so scary and awesome. It says, I have a haunted edition and love it. What's your fave Halloween season deck? That is the Halloween Tarot. The actual, like, I think there's one that's smaller and one that's bigger, but it's got an orange and black backing. It's got, I think imps are the wands, ghosts are cups. What else am I saying? The bats are swords, and pumpkins are pentacles. So the Halloween Tarot, that is like by far, I mean, I'll use it any time of year, but like when Halloween comes around, I'm like, hey, it's your season. But it totally reminds me of my childhood. So yeah, it's so cute. Purple Box Halloween Tarot. I don't know that one. Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't have that one, but I would love to see people using that one, just to kind of see like what does it look like, you know, all that. You have a Halloween Hello Kitty deck, Catherine. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Emily, I just got the Halloween Tarot out because my daughter got all excited when she heard you say it. Cool. Okay, so I remember the story I was going to tell you guys. It was back when we were talking about earthquakes. One live chat ago. one hour ago. Oh, you got it in Japan? Oh, that's a place that I want to visit someday. Like my dude and his best friend got to go to Japan, but it wasn't like a vacation. It was actually for his best friend's mom's funeral because they're Japanese. Um, but I would love to go there someday. I would lose my freaking mind because I love everything Hello Kitty. I love everything cute. I love everything like in like just everything I see, like when I watch videos like of YouTubers like in Japan showing off like markets and places, I'm like, everything is just so, it's so cute. It's like, I want to go to Japan. um, let's see. I was recently gifted the second edition of the Tarot of the Unknown, and that's a perfect Halloween deck for sure. It's based off the show Over the Garden Wall. Really? That is so cool. Some say I want to make a Christmas, Yule, Winter tarot deck. That would be cool too. Oh, Catherine, yes, I would go nuts. I'd turn into like total Harajuku. I'd come back and everybody's like, so you got a new look? Yes, I do. Since I didn't realize that. I love all the cute, childish, kawaii stuff. Yes. Since I got to visit a friend in Osaka and we did a day trip to Kyoto. That's where my boyfriend went. They went to Kyoto. I think they went to a couple other places, but Kyoto was like the main one. It was amazing and I loved it, but it was expensive. That's another thing because I was like, I want to go to Japan. My boyfriend's like, well, you better hit the lottery because Japan is freaking expensive. And I was like, I could save up. But I want to go to Japan. He's like, okay, I'm just saying, it's like super expensive. He's like, I went because I went with Bobby. He's like, well, Bobby's got cash. So, and he's like, otherwise, you know, because my boyfriend's cheap, just like me. So he's like, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to like afford going to Japan. And that was like his best friend flying them first class because his best friend only flies first class. Which Bobby, by the way, he's half Japanese, but his dad is white, but he's like from the military, and like his mother is like straight from Japan, or was, because she's passed away now. But like they didn't have any money, and like he's literally a millionaire now, and he started off scrubbing floors, like literally, like he's a self-made millionaire. Like, so I have major respect for Bobby because I know that he's like worked extremely hard to like have everything that he has. And now I'm like, his kid's got a pretty good life like set up for him now. Let's see. Let's see, I actually saw a geisha in Kyoto. That's what my boyfriend was saying. It's a mixture of kind of like, he says, modern and like history. Because there are some people, he says, who they like, that's their everyday wear, is they dress in traditional dress. And then there are some people that like, it's like they walked out of a magazine, you know, like they're modern day. And he goes, it's interesting. It's like seeing history, but like the modern era, like living harmoniously together. He goes, it's really beautiful over there. And he was there in time for the Cherry Blossom Festival, which came early that year, which he thought was really cool. So Kyoto is lovely. It was the best vacation ever. Oh, you guys are so lucky. Memoirs of a Geisha is one of my top 10 favorite movies ever. Oh, I haven't seen that one. COVID has changed everything now. COVID's a freaking bummer, man. I'm like, COVID, could you just pack up your suitcase? You've overstayed your welcome and just hit the bricks. I'm just saying, because you're like messing up everybody's like jam all around the world. Oh, okay, Chantal, here we go. And Sherry Bug, yes, maybe I'll watch it this weekend. Okay, so back when we were talking about earthquakes, well, I will hit you with the old movie, but love it, and not many people did it. Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John. I've seen that one. Okay, so we were talking about earthquakes, and we were talking about the big earthquakes, and you guys were remembering the one from 1989, then you guys are remembering the one from the 90s, and then there was one that was it was like 99. Yeah, it was 99. I remember because it was my first year of college. So it's not just COVID. I'm freaking out about my mom and friends in Santa Cruz. Crazy fires, sending my childhood memories. Oh no, that too, because it's fire season right now. So we'll send lots of positive thoughts your way and everybody's way. Hey, you see it, yay! You got to meet Olivia Newton-John. That is cool too. Yes, you guys are lovely distractions. Okay. Let me have my tea. We will do this. Okay, so this was like the Northridge quake. It was a big one. I know it was 1999 because it was the fall semester that I started college. So I started in fall of 99 at Long Beach State. I think I had only been at the school for a couple of days or something like that. I don't know if school started yet. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. But I do know that like I was getting to know people on the track team because I was an NCAA athlete, which, by the way, I was the only walk-on the team. I was not a scholarship athlete, but I really wanted to run track, and they kind of like laughed at me because they were like, sure, we have tryouts. I did their tryouts, I made the team. And I had to make it every year for 4 years. So I was their only walk-on. So anyway, I'm meeting all the homies, on our track team. And one of the guys, his name was Big Rich. The reason they call him Big Rich is because he was 6'10", and he was their 400-meter runner, and he also did like the 4x400-meter relay. And I remember him inviting me. He's like, okay, so now that you're one of us, he's like, we are having a huge party down in Parkside, which is one of the dorms. And he's like, you should totally come down. Because like everybody's going to be down there. He's like, baseball's going to be down there, like volleyball, and Long Beach is known for their volleyball team. Like Misty May came from Long Beach State. Like we turn out Olympic athletes. Big Rich, his ex-girlfriend Taiba was our high jumper, and she had made the Olympic trials in high jump. Didn't make it. However, she also played volleyball, and she ended up making the Olympic volleyball team. So she played in the Olympics for like a really long time, and now she's a mom, so her career's all done now. But yeah, so anyway, so he's like, everybody's gonna be there, like volleyball, baseball, water polo, track team, like we're all gonna be there, like all the athletes. He says Parkside is like the athletes dorm, so this party is gonna be off the hook. Like if you're not there, there's something wrong with you. And I was like, okay, cool. Like he says, and plus you'll get to meet all these people, and he says, and you can make friends, since I only knew one person at Long Beach, otherwise I didn't know anybody there. So I was like, okay. And so I remember going down to Parkside, and it's kind of like at the farthest end of the school, and I was living in Cerritos at the time, like Cerritos dorms. And so we get down there, everybody's partying, some people are drinking. I was probably the only one not drinking because my parents had scared me into the point where I thought that if I drank alcohol, I would die. My parents told me that it was poison and that you would die. So I have since learned that that's not the truth. Anyway, so I'm just like drinking water basically, and I'm like having Red Bulls. And like everybody's like drinking. Some people are like maybe smoking the sticky icky, and and all this stuff is going on. And gosh, I was sitting on somebody's bed. So I was like, all the dorm rooms were open, and it was just like one big party. Like the RAs were partying with everybody, and it's just like people are drinking, there's music that's pumping, like the whole dorm is just going crazy. And I'm sitting on somebody's bed, and I was talking to somebody, like it's this guy that was at his computer, and he's like talking, and we're just like having a conversation. And then I remember this one guy, he comes into the room, and he's like got his like little red silo cup. He's like, whoa, hey you guys. And he's like pointing. He's like, you see that fishbowl right there? We're like, yeah. He's like, dude, am I tripping or is the fishbowl moving? And I'm like, the fishbowl's moving. We're having an earthquake right now. And it was like really like big and rolly. And I was like, this is cool. But it was like revving up to like the big earthquake, like it hadn't like totally shook like it should. All right, Jennifer, we will catch you later. So like, so I'm laughing because I think it's hilarious. That guy's like, oh my God. So he starts screaming. All these people start screaming because, by the way, a lot of the people that were there, the scholarship athletes, they're all from the East Coast and they're all from places outside of California. So, so they've never really felt an earthquake before. They are freaking out. And so I remember I'm like, you guys, you just have to get into a door. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. You know, and like everybody's, like all of these college kids are like, they're like, I just remember it was running. There's like beer spilling on the floor. Like, it's just like a mess. And then Big Rich comes into the room, right? And Big Rich is like drunk. He's like, I'm about to save you right now. And I'm like, dude, we're gonna be okay. So Big Rich, like I said, he's 6'10". He picks me up in one arm. He grabs some random girl in like the other arm. And he's like, I'm about to save your lives right now. And he takes us to like the doorway and he's like trying to like hold us in the doorway. We're like, dude, let us go. He's like, I'm saving your life. And there's people in the doorways. They're like, I'm having a really bad trip right now. And somebody's like, is this really happening? Or is this the weed? And people are like, you guys have to be there. It was so funny. Hold on. Yeah, so there was people who were just tripping out. So you got all these like drunk college students who, yes, it was a selfless act. So, so once we were free of the clutches of Big Rich, everybody goes running outside, right? And so everybody's in the giant empty parking lot. And there's these dudes that are also smoking weed. And they're staring at the like lamppost and they're just like, whoa, the lamppost is moving. And I remember everybody's just like, oh my God, and people are like, I'm gonna die. And like some people had cell phones, not everybody had cell phones at the time. So the people that did have cell phones are like trying to get a hold of their parents. Oh my God, I'm trying to call home to New York. Like, we're gonna die. And I was like, dude, it's just an earthquake. And then there was like the aftershocks and everybody, oh my God. And there was like people rocking themselves, like totally like freaking out. Like, I was laughing. And my friend Jason, I always consider him my twin brother. And he says, he considers me his non-black sister. But he's like, our birthday's the same. So he's June 10th and I'm June 10th. So Dolly is from Sacramento, AKA, I was like Crapamento. And he's like, oh yeah, well, you're from Diego. But anyway, he's like, why is everybody freaking out? I'm like, I don't know. I think they've been drinking. He's all, see, this is why we don't drink, kids. This is also why we don't do drugs, because you know they do drug testing. I was like, seriously though, these people are freaking out. So anyway, I had to share that story because it was hilarious. Just everybody screaming, getting in the doorway, people high, people drunk, people literally crawling in the parking lot trying to like gain their footing. It was kind of crazy. We did find out the next day in the news that it did cause like some major destruction, and we were like, oh, that sucks. But it was still funny. And we're like, oh, okay, let me go back to your comments now. Whoa, I missed a lot of your comments. Parents, I related. Let's see. Oh, hey, Ange. Uh, yes, Big Rich. Um, it's not nice to be in an earthquake. I've been in a big one. Me no like earthquakes. See that one? It was just maybe because we're all just stupid college students, but you know, I thought it was funny. Historical moment. Uh, Thank you so much for sharing that experience with us. So yeah, I just had to like get that off my chest because it was funny. Yes, to be a fly on the wall. Let's see. Sorry, I'm back. Had to get some food after work. It was a scorching one today. It's still scorching here. And it's always off by 10 degrees. Like I'm pretty sure that how they gauge the weather in Spring Valley, like the thermometer has to be underwater because everybody else's thermometer, which we have like connected to our homes, is like exactly 10 degrees hotter. So it is not 87, it is 97. We have had earthquakes on the East Coast in Maine when I was a kid. I thought that my dog was on my bed and yelled at her to stop scratching, and my mom knocked on the door to tell me there's a quake. Oh my goodness. We've been having them here in Quebec and experienced one recently at 3 a.m. I can tell now, sounds like the subway sound humming and the trumpet. Yeah, there's an actual, like, right before it happens, there's a ee. I don't know if you guys hear that too. It's like a ee, like it's a high-pitched sound that I hear right before an earthquake, like a second before, like it's a ee, and then it does have a sound to it. I was in Santa Cruz for the 89 Loma Priest quake. Whoa. I've been through hurricanes, but never tornadoes or earthquakes. And my dude has been through a hurricane in Florida. And they got stranded, I think. I think they were stuck in the middle of a soccer field that they thought was just mud, but it was apparently a soccer field. And yeah, they were stuck pretty bad there without electricity or like anywhere to go. First ever earthquake was scary, no matter how small. If drunk or high, I think even the thought of an earthquake would freak me out. Like if someone bumped into me and told me it was the earth rumble. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was, oh my gosh. My friend Jason and I we still talk about that. It's taken in the shade here. Oh, when they take the temp. Yeah, I mean, it has to be because I'm like, it is not 87. It's like almost 100 out there. When you can almost fry an egg. Since I have also been through 2 hurricanes, Hurricane Gloria in 85 and Bob in the 90s. I remember those. I hear the humming sound like the subway or a large truck passing by. Yes, no earthquake for us today. We don't really get them here in the UK. Sometimes intense storms, but not much else. We have never had an earthquake in Denmark. Sometimes very sensitive people can feel trembles from Iceland, but very, very faint. Interesting. Well, yeah, no earthquakes today, please. All right, well, we have had quite the gab fest. I am now starving, so I have to go eat lunch. See, Santa Cruz had no power for weeks and the entire downtown was rubble. It was freaky. I got tossed out of bed where I was sitting and reading. Oh my gosh. Okay, that would probably freak me out. Definitely. Okay, so I have had a wonderful time with you guys. You know that I never end my chat without giving us a reading for the week and doing a healing. Obviously, there's a lot of people need to be sent some extra love. You know, there's fires going on. There's been some pretty big earthquakes, not like in my general vicinity, but just like kind of around the world. And, you know, just like lots of stuff going on. So let's just kind of like pump out that love for everybody. Sending hugs, Jonathan, to your mom and friends. Yes. But let me pull from my Pinoy Practical Magic Tarot, give us a little message, we'll do a little healing. But this has been fun, and thank you for everybody that popped back in like for live chat number 2 and stuck around to see Rory and our other little friend Leo and stuck around for some story time. Oh my gosh. This was so fun. Okay, so let me shuffle these cards. Get myself centered because I'm like all kinds of giggles right now. Like, you guys get me the giggles. Like, you know when it's like a teenager that just can't stop laughing and you try to get them to stop laughing and the mere thought of trying to stop laughing makes you laugh more? Yeah, I got the giggles. And the giggles is not something to get when your parents are extremely mad at you, but that would just happen with me and I couldn't stop laughing at them. I'm like, your anger is making me laugh. Yes, hope everyone is safe. Yes, yes, yes. Seeing double hurricanes heading towards the south coast. Whoo! Yes, carpe diem. Same, they're incredibly loud, but it was nice how our community came together. It was in high school and a lot of my friends and I volunteered to give out MREs and supplies. It was nice. That is so cool. Everyone laugh and smile is contagious. I'm also Leo. I think I'm in love with you. Oh, Rory Shake, hello. Okay, so. Oh, and the AC comes on. That's nice. Okay. A message for all of us this week, please. Really? Oh, okay. So I've already had, I just got this deck yesterday. It's like we have a really good relationship already. Aw, Chantal, yes, you are my extendo family and I love you guys so much. I love our chats. Like, you guys make the chat, literally, because we get to talk about all sorts of crazy stuff and I love it. Like sometimes we do readings, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're just talking about random weird stuff. Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands. Diane said, always great to come here. I look forward to hang out with my YouTube family. Yes. And then we have the Moon. And then we have Eight of Pentacles. Because at first I was like, really? And I was like, okay. Okay. So let me put this all together. Okay. Well, actually, you know what? One more card because I think it needs the fourth card. I just get this feeling. Okay, the fourth card is the Two of Pentacles. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay. This week, y'all. All right, salamat. This week, Seven of Wands. So maybe it won't be the smoothest of rides this week. And some stuff will appear to have come out of nowhere. So I don't know how you prepare for the unexpected. Expect the unexpected this week. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting week. Definitely not boring. Nothing major, so it's not like tower moment type stuff. It's more like, and then the starter went out on my vehicle. Really? Thanks. Or then the ice maker stopped making ice in my fridge. I know that's first world problems, but you know that it annoys people too. So, or you're like, you know what? It's in the middle of summer. It's 120 degrees and the AC took a dump. You know, it's that type of stuff. So I do get this sense of, you know, I do like this Eight of Pentacles because it's not a situation that you cannot get yourself out of. So maybe you get a flat tire on the freeway, but just as you're pulling over, and this did happen to me once, just as you're pulling over with your flat tire, a guy who just so happens to be getting off work at the tire rotation shop jumps out of his vehicle because he saw you had a flat and changes your tire. Like, you know, so I see like that stuff that you guys can get yourself out of it. So like something comes up, It's not horrendous though. It's not, oh, hey, Wally. Wally has finally made an appearance, like, what are we, 3 hours later? But it's nothing that you can't handle, so it's not crazy. And it's nothing that you can't fix by the end of the week. And so I get that Two of Pentacles with things kind of going back into balance. So expect the unexpected this week. There's probably going to be a little hiccup that you probably would have rather have had not happen, but it's something that you can get fixed. It's something that you get worked out, so that you, by the weekend, when we have our next live chat, things will start to even back out again. So there you go. That's your guys' message this week. So that's for all of us. So I'm thinking all of us are going to have a little something to talk about on Saturday. So you guys are going to have to remind me and let me know what was this? Like, what was it? And I'll let you know on my end what that was. Okay, so, oh, hey, Wally. Hey, BB. Oh, my BB. It's 84, but feels like 91 here in Maui. My dude says it feels like a laser out there. It hasn't stopped me from wanting to go to Hawaii, though. This is, oh no, giving the real message. All right, Joanne, we will catch you later then. Diane said, boom, hoo, pow. Wally looks like he is back to his fight and weight. Yes, it is good to see him not super scrawny. That was actually really disheartening. Sounds about right, as I am backing up my colleague next week at work. Ooh. 13th, like, yay. So, yeah. Actually, hold on. I know I only do this with Lenormand, but I kind of feel like I need to add these numbers really quick. Let me add them really quick. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wally? Loki? Okay, it's weird noises. Okay, so it's, where were we? Okay, so 5 ones, 25. 25 is 35, which brings us back to the 7. Interesting. Okay, so if you add up all the card numbers together, you do have a reduction of 7. So 7 is the number for the week. So there is no getting around it. It's definitely going to be a bit of a challenge. But remember that it's nothing that you guys can't handle. So this isn't like a tower moment. Like I said, it's just I would have rather have not had this happen this week, but it's not like I can't fix it. So just know you guys can get her done. Don't worry. It'll like even out by the end of the week, but you guys got this. I just had to like reconfirm. I like sometimes adding the numbers together. So it's going to be a 7 week, y'all. Okie dokie. So let's go ahead and do a bit of a healing. Wally seems to stare right into your third eye. Yes, he does. See, he comes down and my readings are just so much better. Says you can come, but make sure to plan on being here a month. First 14 days in quarantine. That I heard about. And I would still have to be, well, we're actually getting ready to head back to the school, actually, like inside the school, because San Diego is off the watch list now. So they're giving everybody like the 2-week notice that they're going to be prepping the high school again, and they're going to start putting us back at the school at a level 2, which means that they're going to have 25% of the students on campus at any given time. And then they said if we're good for another 2 weeks after that of basically no cases rising, we're just going to go back to business as usual, full 2,100 students at the school. And so we'll see. Yes, you have a nice day too. Syrian's going to grab some lunch. I'm going to grab some lunch. Birthday is the 7th of September, and 7 is the Chariot card. Yes. Starting up again is a bit nerve-wracking. Yeah. I mean, standing in my classroom is going to be kind of weird again, like with all the kids looking at me. I'm like, just, But yeah, it's going to be weird because we've been so separate from each other for so long that it's just going to be a little odd. But you know, if this, and I seriously, okay, I know that I'm not going to get a straight answer because the universe isn't going to give me a straight answer. I already tried. Okay, I really want to do a meetup, at least by like winter time, spring, something like that. I want to do another meetup where, like, if you guys are in town, like, let's just meet up. Like, you know, I did a meetup like a couple of years ago, and I want to do something like that again. But I just want to know when. I know I can't really ask this question because I'm going to get a very ambiguous answer because there's so many other factors. See, these are the kinds of questions, these are hard to ask and answer. When, I'm just going to ask it, when is COVID going to get her big butt out of here? No offense to big butts, but you don't want her big butt. Some big butts are nice, but not this one. COVID. I know I can't ask this question. Let's see. My son is 100% distance learning for the foreseeable future. 2 years in the future, we will have a vaccine. Any of you guys know about doing rituals to planets? I've gotten into it. What's better to worship than the universe? Maybe you guys could let Stanley know. And hello, Stanley, by the way. Don't let anyone make you feel any type of way for doing whatever you need to do to feel safe. Yes. Okay. COVID. Okay, so like I was gonna end on doing our healing, which we will, but let me just, I just need this real quick. Okay. Okay, so if you guys are wondering what I'm doing right now, I am asking to see the energy of COVID, like just the energy of it. And I'm not asking it to be anywhere near my energy because I don't want it in my energy, but I'm asking it to stand just outside of my energy, and I just want to see it. Like I just want to see what it looks like. So I'm just asking for it to be here. But not stay. Please don't stay. Okay, so it's like I'm gonna be getting a reading from somebody, but it's the energy of something. So it's the energy of COVID. So I'm just asking, like, what's your agenda, bro? Like, when are you gonna move out? Okay. Okay. Whew. Heart palpitations. Heart palpitations. Okay. Let that energy go. Woo! You're gone. Gone, 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 gone. Oh my gosh, that energy is a little crazy. Normally love big butts, but no COVID butts. A meetup would be fun. I would drive from yeah, come on in from LA. Heck yeah. Don't stay, don't come anywhere near, just pass right on by, bro. Bye, Felicia. I asked for the energy of COVID between now and the end of the year a few weeks ago, and I got the Empress reverse, which gave me chills, honestly. So I wrote it down and left it. Woo. COVID has no place else to go. Yeah, COVID's like, but I got nowhere to go. And I'm like, I don't know where you want to go, but you can't stay here. Why don't you go to Mars? I hear that Mars is great this time of year. Seriously. Okay, let's see what we got, like, for real. Okay. 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 Here we go. Deep breaths. I got this alien mother vibes from it. I did. Seriously, that's why I'm a little like, okay, we got the Three of Swords. Yeah, Mars is just the right place for COVID. We have the Judgment card. This is already going along with a crazy experience that I had. I will talk to you guys about it next live chat because I'm still working my way through this experience that I had that I really can't put into words too well. So I would rather have it really thought out before I actually discuss it with you guys. So I'll talk about it next Saturday. It's actually on a little bit more serious note. So, okay. And then we got the Eight of Cups, which is nice. Bye, Felicia. Okay. This COVID is here to stay. Every time I did a reading about it, I got the Tower. Jonathan, oh my gosh, that Tower. Okay. I don't have my head wrapped around it yet, so I'll have to tell you guys next Saturday. But when I tell you guys I saw the Grim Reaper, I did. But yeah, I'll tell you guys that story like next Saturday. And we will talk about the Tower card because everybody I know is pulling the Tower card. My friend in Belgium is pulling the Tower card. Her friends are pulling the Tower card. I've been pulling the Tower card. My buddy in Palo Alto is pulling the Tower card. Like everybody's pulling the Tower card. Says, yes, I don't want to say it either what I see. Yes, Diane. We know. Probably came from Mars. It's like an angry energy. I know, right? Like it's like Mercury's brother. For me, it seemed like with me, the Empress reversed, it was giving birth to itself over and over again. It was just so chilling. Okay. Okie dokie. Well, gosh, and I don't give false readings, by the way. So I can't lie to you guys. As my hand shakes while I hold the cards. But seriously, I got palpitations. Okay. Okay, so COVID is pretty nasty. We know that. And with the Three of Swords, we already know, okay, sometimes it's like some people get it as like the heart, but we know the swords is mental, right? And so it's that cloudy fog, but I get that the Three of Swords is also another name for that ailment because, as you know, it affects the congestion, you know, like people can't breathe. And that's kind of what I see the Three of Swords is because your heart is right here. It's like the swords in your heart. It's like that area that you can't breathe. And this is already like what I've gotten in every single meditation and the crazy thing that happened to me. With the Judgment card, gosh, I'm just going to say, okay, so the end of the year, like the actual calendar year, in December, there is going to be kind of a judgment thing going on. And it won't be probably like a thing where like it's all over the news type of like judgment is here, but it's more like come to the goddess type thing, where everybody's going to have to finally like decide what they want out of their lives. I'm talking politicians, I'm talking everybody on this planet. And everybody's leveled and equal when it comes to that, because they're going to have to make a decision. No amount of money or power that you have can have any sort of influence on that decision. Like it's just you stripped down to your naked birthday suit. Like, okay, that's a double entendre, but it's like you're just your birthday suit, okay? But everybody's just going to have to decide, like, what do I want out of my life and what do I want to do moving forward? Because I've been getting the messages, it's 2021 that's the change. It wasn't 2020, although we've been having all of this. It's like this is the precursor to getting us to finally like awaken to this is what I really truly want to do. And these are like, I see, I can't put it into words yet, which is why I wanted to talk about it next Saturday. See, I can't voice it yet. But it's like having to really say and decide what you want moving forward as an entire planet. And this could be mental, like people just like mentally thinking about this. So I'm saying this is not going to be like all over the news, like today the world decided that they are going to be doing this. No, it's like each individual person on this planet is deciding what they want moving forward. And that's kind of tied in with the COVID thing, which I don't really understand how, but and then that's when the changes will take place. So it's like we get to decide how it moves forward energetically. And like I said, I don't really have all the answers. That's just like, and I don't have it all like worded correctly, I think. So, but I do see like the Eight of Cups is like kind of like, bye, Felicia. So that's a good thing. So I'll just keep that, you know. But I want to probably put it more eloquently for you guys next Saturday, because I can't express myself in a way that makes sense even to me, you know. My brain's all over the place. So we'll talk about it next Saturday. But yeah, that's just what I'm getting. So anyway, sorry if that was like a little crazy. Okay. The first outbreak started in Capricorn season. Saturn is teaching us all a lesson. I got very Dany from Game of Thrones vibes from the Empress First, which, no spoilers, if you've seen the end of Game of Thrones, then you all know what I mean. I feel like it's a cosmic wake-up call. The last few major viral issues besides Ebola were also coronavirus too. Yeah, coronavirus, there are coronas, basically, or COVID, not COVIDs, but COVID is an abbreviation of coronavirus. But basically there's these little things in like all of us, and there's viruses that stem from that. Okay, see, let me just go back. See, I know, right? I don't like to give bad news either, but we must talk the truth. I'll do that next Saturday. Jezebel, yeah, I think it's like, I don't think I needed to do a trigger warning. That could mean a breakdown in political people, and we are going through a breakdown before the new age begins, Age of Aquarius, starting in 2021. It affects lungs, heart, and respiratory. Have seeds. Seeds are going to be more worth it than anything else. Yes. Oh, thanks, Stanley. 2020 is the Tower. Capricorn energy is leaving. It's probably that Eight of Cups, which is good. Hey. Tower is coming. We're only 3 years into this 7-year shift. Oh, it's a 7 again. Oh, hey, Tanya. Diane, it is so hard to explain. So I will have to do that like next Saturday. Chantal, I am okay. It's just, it's a lot of energy. So when I understand it more, I'll talk to you guys next week, and I do need to breathe. See, when I get those major downloads, it's like really hard for my brain to comprehend. I like everything comes out so fast, and yeah, and now I'm super hungry. Okay. See, corona equals a crown. Don't give your corona away and stay in your power. Take your crown and keep it. There you go, Diane. I love it. Okay, so let's get out of this freaking downer, and I'm going to pull a charm, and that is going to be the energy of the healing that I'm going to send out to you guys right now. Yay! We do that next week. Nice weekend for everyone. Yay, Sea Cat! Yes, I'm hungry too now. What is it about this chat that makes us so hungry? I don't know. I make you all so hungry. Okay, so this is the little one that I got, and it's a little empty gas tank, you guys. So, I mean, legit, most of us are hungry, and we're gonna go eat right now. That's one thing. But the energy healing that I'm gonna be sending to you guys is to kind of pump up your reserves, your spiritual reserves, your little energetic reserves, not just your you need to eat. But I think everybody's needing a little bit of a refuel, especially because we have maybe a little bit of a difficult week coming up for us, which we can handle, by the way. So remember, it's nothing that you can't handle. But I think you're just going to need a little extra juju. So I'll be sending you guys some juju, and then I'm gonna eat a juju sandwich. So yes, it is all my fault. Fuel the tanks. You guys have a wonderful weekend. You too, Diana. Or Diane, sorry. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to fill up your tanks full of good juju and then actually go eat something, unless you're having a midnight snack, in which have a midnight snack. And like I said, I'm going to go have a juju sandwich. Okay. All right, you guys. So my grandparents just showed up. They told me I gotta go eat. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Remember, whatever comes up next week, you guys got this. You guys are freaking bosses. You'll get it handled. And yeah, and we'll talk some business next Saturday. And oh, you have to let me know next Saturday too. Like, what was the thing that came up that you had to handle for the week? Oh, Stanley's like, my grandparents suck. Well, I was fortunate to have good grandparents, even though my parents sucked. So yeah, thank you guys all for coming in. Thank you for coming back onto the second live chat. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, or if you're already on Sunday, have a great Sunday. Have a great week. Hopefully you guys got a little juju refill there. I'm gonna tend to my grandparents because my grandma and my grandpa just showed up. So anyway, I will catch you all later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys. Love y'all.